Let's hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And this is another episode. This is the Montana edition, I guess. A little depressed. It's 16 degrees outside.
Montana edition? What you talking about, man? It's a nice.
I'm sorry. This is America's edition of
There we go.
What's Good America. I'm sorry.
We're covering 2 time zones over here, baby.
We're covering it all right now. We're covering pretty much half the country. We're covering the half the country that Joe Biden won. Oh, was I not supposed to mention that yet? Can we joke about that yet?
No.
Okay, we're not there to joke about that yet.
Come on.
Okay.
Now.
I'm bad. My bad.
You know, like all I would say is go watch Saturday Night Live last Saturday.
Yeah. So we're covering 2 time zones that happen to be blue. Just to kind of twist that kid. Anyway,
so silly.
we are now bringing up the next topic, the NFL. Something we love and it's near to our heart. Something that we know a little bit about, but we're gonna cover it from this aspect.
Yeah.
Who do you trust?
Dude.
Who do you not trust? Who is out there false flagging on the set, cuz? Like, who's up there twisting it up?
Yeah.
Not really with the gang. Like
TV gangsters, like Kevin and I just saying. It's a game. It's a game.
Who out there false flagging these records that are being perpetuated with being undefeated, which is only one team, so I can only be talking about one team. Some of these division leaders, some of these conference leaders, or some of these teams who are actually pretty good and they're sitting at the bottom. So I'll throw it to you first. Like, who, call a spade, who's out there bullshitting right now?
Okay, so you want to go negative first.
You got to get the negative out first.
Okay. All right. So this is where I'm at, to where I was thinking, just based on what I saw on Sunday. I'm starting to really have some problems with Seattle now. I don't like the way they're conducting themselves offensively. And I think that ass whooping they got from Buffalo, you got to prove me wrong until then, because I don't think they should have. I'm not saying they couldn't have lost the game, but they got smoked.
Yep.
Okay, and this is where home field means nothing. Buffalo, New York, and Seattle, Washington have the same weather this time of year. Yep. I don't want to hear none of that. They got smoked. And now I'm like, okay, like you played well enough against Kyler and them, and they got you, Russell, couple. But that's 2 bad games in a row for Russell. And I'm starting to go, and this is why we wanted to bring this up, America, because we've been singing MVP praises to certain people and certain things. And then things that we just seen in the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks makes me go, who's the real MVP? So Seattle, I'm having issues with. I'm having issues with Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
How can you have issues with an 8-0 team?
I'm going to put it to you this way. We lost 4 games in 2 years together that we played.
Yeah.
And then there was one game that I know in those 4 games where we lost to a team that we should have beat. But in those 4 games, when you think about it, we lost to Omaha twice.
Yep.
Sioux Falls once.
Yep.
And Fairbanks the second year after beating them 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Did we ever, when we lost those games, did it ever seem like it was like, we cracked it? Like, did it ever seem like people had cracked it on us, or was it like for real, like, yeah, we were focused on the wrong things? Because Omaha in 2009, that's it.
Yeah.
Anybody that played on those teams and anybody that played in that league and played in Omaha understands what it could do depending on the mindset of your team.
That's a fact. If you've never been to Omaha, Nebraska, it's
I'm
worth
talking
it.
about Omaha, Nebraska in them 2 years. I can't speak for any of them other years. Because me personally, I always score touchdowns in Omaha. I can't speak for nobody else. I always play well there. Doesn't matter to me. They had a casino. I was throwing dice. I was always. So the reason why Pittsburgh bothers me, like it's kind of the way they've been winning. And I don't like the fact that Dallas had a chance to win that game if I'm 8-0. I feel like that's the game where we need to be up. Now, if they would have came back because we pulled off, different conversation. Dallas was in that game the entire
game. All game.
Dallas is terrible.
Yep.
Like the old 9 versions of our team would have easily helped Dallas win that game. Easily.
I agree.
So, Pittsburgh, last week I was sold. I was like, you know what? Because we talked about it. That's the team that we all felt like that's a team that can push Kansas City. And after seeing what I saw, I don't know. And we talked about the AFC North. And I also want to take this moment to congratulate us on things that we were right about. Me personally, I said 3 teams were going to make the playoffs out of the AFC North.
Speak on it.
I said that. And it's going to happen. Cleveland's going to find a way to get this wild card, even without Odell Beckham. They're the best division top to bottom, in my opinion, in the AFC. You're going to have 3 there. You're going to have maybe 2 out of the East, and I want to give us credit for this too. Chris, we were not wrong about Miami. I don't think it's so much.
Wait.
I just thought a lot of negative. We're not wrong, and we tried to take it back, and we shouldn't have taken it back. We were not wrong about Miami. Miami is not out of this thing.
Just wait. Let me give you your roses on this. I am the Dolphins fan. And I am the Dolphins fan that would naively say every year that we're going to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and I just want to get 8-8 and all that stuff. Now, you were the one, and I'm going to give you your credit. You are the one who said we were going to the playoffs. Me, I said I just want to be 8-8. You were the one that said we were going to the playoffs. So that credit belongs all to you.
But it's still us, man. And we started to get a little about it early, but then then Fitzmagic did what he did. He got him to 5. I said, here we go. So I think for me, and Pittsburgh can change, and that's the best part. Like I don't want us to turn into the pundits that we see on TV. Like that's the one thing I like recorded history. We're gonna always apologize and say, hey, we messed up. That's where we're going to be different from every show that is on the face of earth. I have the ability to go, I was wrong on that, and I will be wrong. But when I was right, your asses is going to know. And I told every single one of you, Miami, Flores can coach.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have found a way to win with Tua, and we both did not want him to start. See, we were wrong. Right.
Very true.
But if this kid's going to keep getting better and better, and they don't miss a beat, that just more is a testament to what we felt was going to happen regardless of him. Because I said playoffs with Tua not even taking the field. Because I want to protect the kid. I want the kid to play 15 years. I don't want him, get him a little bit more help. But Arizona's a good win. Rams is those are 2 really good wins. Those are good
teams, yeah.
Okay. So, then I would say my main, I'd say Seattle, like for real. That's just like, I'm kind of like, Russ, that's twice. because that game versus Arizona got him.
Yeah.
And Sean McDermott just got him. So, I mean, those are the two that stand out to me, that off the top of my head, Chris. Where I'm just like, oh, my goodness. Oh,
go ahead.
Let me go ahead and do this. I want to shout out my cousin, Mike Hillman Jr. I love him. It's my guy. We've been going a little bit on Facebook. I love him, man. But I got to talk about my Bears, too. We are not in any way out of any excuse. Okay? We have been abysmal for a month.
Yeah.
And, okay, we're coming off a team that beat Tom Brady. Okay? We were 5-1 beating Tom Brady. And since then, we've lost 3 straight. And I don't know what's going on with Nick Foles. I don't know if he's trying to get everybody to come to Christ. I don't know what's going on with Matt Nagy, if he doesn't understand. We just had a segment on great coaches that understand. The great coaches let their players do. There's only one Bill Belichick in this world. There's only one Bill Parcells in this world. Bill Walsh won all those titles because he was grooming successors.
Yep.
Walsh was smart enough to go, and I think Parcells was technically doing the same thing. Okay, when you look at all these trees, and for us, it really starts with those 2 guys. These are the guys with assistant coaches with Super Bowl rings. And Bill Walsh basically has had his handprint on every Super Bowl since he won the first one in 1980.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Just about every one. When you start to look, and this is me to help our fans that do love the history part. That's what I'm on the show for. So let me help you with the guys. You're talking about Andy Reid is a Bill Walsh guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most hated coaches on this show. John Gruden is a Bill Walsh guy.
Fuck him.
Doug Peterson, because of being an Andy Reid guy,
is a Bill Walsh guy.
Mike Holmgren, because of being, is that Mike Shanahan is a Bill Walsh guy. Okay, America, like, this is where we're going. And then you start thinking about that, okay? And then Parcells is the other guy. It basically starts with Belichick, because Belichick has done the most. But also, don't forget about Tom Coughlin. Tom Coughlin is a Parcells guy, okay? So when you talk about those 2 coaches' last 40 years of football, they've basically got their handprints on about 30 Super Bowl wins. This is just us not even looking that up and getting the exact number, but it's crazy, okay? So where are you at with your most disappointing? It's really those that stand out, and you might be coming from a different angle. I mean, those.
Oh yeah,
the Bears.
I'm definitely coming. Well, Brian, start off with the Minnesota Vikings. What they did to the Green Bay Packers showed that, like, listen, we can play. We have the tools. We have arguably the best young receiver in the game right now. Dalvin Cook is the top 5 back.
Yeah, they got that dude.
Exactly. Look at his last 2 games. Like, he's been almost 450 yards of rushing in his last 2 games. So the Minnesota Vikings as a whole really don't have an excuse because Kirk Cousins is good enough. Like, Kirk Cousins is like your C+ in algebra. Like, you'll still pass with that. You might not get into like the Ivy League, but you'll pass with the C+.
Hey,
and that's what Kirk Cousins is.
No, I love what you're saying. Can we think about even in the same era, like Parcells and Walsh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, there have been chunks of time where great quarterbacks have won Super Bowls. But can you think of how many Super Bowls have been won by that type of grade? Off the top of my head, I can think of
several.
Name a couple.
Several.
Name a couple just off the top of your head that fit
Let's be honest.
Kirk Cousins mindset.
Tom Brady's first year as quarterback when he got him to the chip.
How about Tom Brady's first 3 Super Bowls?
Okay. So Tom Brady's first couple. Brad Johnson.
There you go. Yeah.
Like Brad Johnson is the one that sticks out the most to me.
Keep going, man. Who else you got? There's a bunch.
Oh God, let's see. And please don't take my black card, but Doug Williams. Doug wasn't great. Doug was not great.
He was great that year.
What about the other?
He was a number, and he was a number 1 overall draft pick. Too.
Yeah, I know.
He was a first round draft pick. So I gotta take that.
No,
one.
I don't know. I'm sticking with Doug, dude. I'm sticking with Doug.
All right, who else you got? I like where you at, except for Doug Williams. I didn't like that. And it's not because he's black, America. It's because he was a first round draft pick. He was supposed to do that shit.
All right, and just think about the quarterbacks that got him to the ship.
Oh, I got more. I mean, if you're done, I can.
Oh, go please. By all means.
We just saw him on Monday night. How about Joe Flacco?
Oh God, I didn't even think of Wacko Flacco.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
How about Jeff Hostetler in New York when Phil Simms got hurt?
Like these guys are enough. That's the thing about like they're enough.
Hey, here you go. Speaking of, we've been talking about Tampa Bay. How about Trent Dilfer when he was in Baltimore?
Yep, I was just thinking about him. I was trying to figure out which quarterback that was, if it was a Harbaugh or it was him. So yeah.
So I mean, America, this is not new at all. That you can get it. Oh, I got the perfect one for you. Jim McMahon.
The funky QB.
Just stay upright and don't turn the ball over as much as you throw touchdowns. Give Walter a chance to be Walter. That's all Jim did. Jim was great when he had to be great, and Walter was running for 1,300 yards, and the Bears' defense is still arguably the greatest to ever walk earth. You know,
but,
and Mark Rippon's in that conversation. I mean,
very true.
We can do this. Like, there have been guys that have had – Mark Rippon was a Pro Bowler that year, so I give him that credit. But Mark Rippon didn't have a career like that. No. So what Chris is trying to say about Kirk Cousins is that he's not. You know where they messed up, and I was excited about it in my division because I knew what was going to happen. And I think I had been saving this, and I don't know, maybe it was I wanted to pull a trigger with and we were talking about it a little bit, but you've seen it with your own eyes playing on a team. Isn't it amazing what a team can do when it has 2 bona fide number 1 wide receivers?
Oh, yeah. It's magical. It's by far magical.
Like 2 guys that can set the world on fire by themselves.
Like you can't double anybody.
So when they were like, well, we need to get rid of Stephon Diggs because they couldn't find a way, you think like there, let's look at our dynamic here. Okay? And I hate that one is like homegrown from Minnesota, North Dakota, from that area. And the other one is like, I think the Diggs boys, aren't they from Florida, Chris? Aren't they Florida boys?
I think so, but I'm not 1,000% sure. I think they're South Florida guys.
Maybe either Florida or Georgia. Or something like they're from down there. So Stephon Diggs came out early. Like he in his head was like, and he wasn't a first round draft pick. He just said,
I'm going to the league.
And I'm that good. And he has proven to be that good. And they just never felt like he allowed Adam Thielen to become Adam Thielen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Those 2 playing together and taking coverage away from each other, that's why Adam Thielen had the years that he had. It's a known. Anybody that knows the game of football. And I love Adam Thielen because Adam Thielen gets open on his own too. Like, don't get me wrong, Adam Thielen can play.
Oh, he's the router now. He has routes.
His game has come a long way. But there's a reason that they're 3-6 or whatever they are. So shout out Dalvin Cook, actually, who gets more praise because you've taken that other guy, and Dalvin Cook is beating 7-man boxes. And he is going to once again show what the problem is with paying running backs. Zeke is killing him right now. Zeke is killing him. Dalvin Cook deserves his money, and they're going to look at him and go, man, if I was and let me ask you this. This is getting off topic, but
Yeah, go ahead.
within the realm.
No, go ahead.
Like I'm thinking about this as a GM. You know what I would do? Is this wrong to think this about like the running back position? Why would I not just, if they give me a performance and I just go, hey, you know what? I'm going to guarantee you this 1-year deal. And I'm not going to abuse your body like you think I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the carries you think you need to do to earn this, or you want your numbers to be. But what if I go, you know what? Like, let's say, like, what Zeke's supposedly making? He's got the highest running back contract per year.
Seems to be we're having some technical difficulties.
Can you hear me now? I'm back.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I think that was my internet. My internet for once is acting up, but I think we're good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go.
All right, so we should be good on both. What is Zeke approximately making? Like, do you remember?
Too much.
What if you were like, all right, Dalvin, here's the deal. Like, to save the cap and get other guys, I don't do this, but I'm going to guarantee you $24 million the next 2 years, no matter what happens. It's kind of like the NBA system, you know, where these guys are signing these short-term contracts to then go get that long, big one.
That's the way to go.
You think that might be the way to go with a Dalvin? Because it's like the Zeke contract is not holding up because he got so much loaded in the front end. And to Zeke's, I'm actually defense Zeke, his whole line's hurt.
Sure.
So you're knowing his true value now. That's how you can tell it's late America. Chris Turner's yawning. It ain't like he got to go to office tomorrow. Like some of us have to actually go to work.
That's very true.
What would you do? Because, you know, they're not paying him.
My thing is, for a running back, I would go with definitely I'm more inclined to pay a running back early. It'll be an early short-term 3. At the very longest, it'll be a 4-year deal early. Because honestly, by the time you're 26, 27, as a running back, that's a lot of mileage. And that's even saying that you stayed in college all 4 years. By 26, 27, a good deal of running backs, they're already looking for the next guy. So I'm willing to give like a couple of like short-term deals, 26, 27. That way, as a player, you can get your money. But me as the organization, I can still trade you and get something. So no, that's a great idea. Like that way, it's beneficial for everybody because I can get what I need out of you. You can get money out of me, and then we can both split and be happy about it because it works. Now to bring it back to my second team, and I only have two that are really like disappointments to me because I don't consider Cleveland a disappointment because it's Cleveland, right? It's Cleveland. But my disappointment is Atlanta. Like Atlanta, you have, and this is
a trend. You're on a trend right now of this is the second team where you're like, it shouldn't be this bad based on what I've seen.
Look at Atlanta. And there's a couple one-possession games in there where they should have, would have, could have, whatever. But if you look at Atlanta, Matty Ice, all right? Matty Ice isn't a C-plus quarterback. He may be closer to like a B-minus quarterback. Now, for a while,
I mean,
he was in that top tier.
He was the MVP of the league, man.
Like I said, for a while, he was in that top tier. But Matty Ice is more of like that B average quarterback where he has some good games and has some okay games.
It just sounded better the way you said that there. I just wanted you to frame it.
I got you.
I guarantee you, America right now in fantasy agrees with you. They don't know what to do. But I just wanted you to frame it better for me as a player that this guy was the MVP of the league.
He was. Like, and that means he outplayed his own division, which has Drew Brees in it, which is saying something. But Matty Ice, if you look at his roster, just offensively, there's no way in hell they should be where they are.
Defense.
Like,
their defense is trash. It matters. See, You have it backwards, Chris, and I've been trying to tell you this for as long as we've known each other. See, the saying is backwards. Defense wins games. Offense wins championships. That's the saying, and that is the truth. And you know how you know that's the truth? Because you guys gave up 61, and nobody was upset about that. We were like, dude, that's plenty. You stopped them twice. We got this. You carried us all year. We'll get 72, and let's go over to Bones, and we'll fucking party. That's
very true. That's very true. But if you look at Atlanta's defense, their defense on paper, which I know that doesn't mean anything when it comes to sports, but on paper, Atlanta's defense isn't bad. Like, they have some good guys in good spots. I don't know if it's coordinator. I don't know if it's scheme.
It wasn't what it was in 15, though.
Oh, no. It's not that. It's far from that.
Because outside of Grady Jarrett, who else do they have in their line? Like, Grady is a monster.
True. Very true.
Can you name any of their linebackers? I don't even know any of their linebackers.
No, I can't. I
know they got AJ Terrell. I think they've got a Trufant at corner. So I mean, I just like where you went with the who you don't like, because it's teams that are actually playing good football right now.
Yeah.
And it almost makes you think, like, more than Minnesota situation, Chris. It's almost like Atlanta was. They almost like took in my eyes. They forced Dan Quinn out. They're like, we like the guy, but we're tired of the message. And Raheem Morris is there, and Raheem Morris is going to get the credit for this, like he should, because he's the head coach.
As well, he should. Here's my other team, the Indianapolis Colts. Because the Indianapolis Colts are a team
I don't trust them either. That's a good one, and that was one of my picks.
They honestly,
who are they?
That team is built for Phillip Rivers. Like, they're built for him. And they are pissing down the side of their leg right now.
Now, here's the thing. Now they play Tennessee. So here we go. So I'm staying away from that game because, like I said, I said it on the last bit of shows, Ryan Tannehill, I'm off the bandwagon. So I don't even want any parts of it because Indianapolis has made me look bad too. Do you want to make any predictions about this game?
I don't, because I don't know which Tennessee is going to show up. I don't know which Indianapolis is going to show up. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Let it be known. I don't care what they did to the Bears. That wasn't Ryan Tannehill who did that. That was the Bears offense that did that shit. So I'm going to be 100 about that. That Tennessee defense, we gave them some confidence. That's for sure. But, dude, I like where you're at, man. Those are some interesting picks. Like, I like where you brought that. That was really good, man. Damn.
I try.
Damn, you kind of know your shit, man.
A little bit, man. Only on Tuesdays.
Let me piggyback you. Who do you trust? Who do you believe in? I want to see how together we are on this.
Who do I believe in?
You know.
I'm sorry. Let me just start off with that. I'm sorry. But when you ask me who I believe in, and the first name that pops into my heart, in my head, is the man who told you to RELAX.
Okay. You gotta apologize for that. This is I can shit on Aaron Rodgers later.
I have faith in Green Bay. It's just, mind you, 80% of the time you know who Aaron Rodgers is going to throw to, but you still can't stop it. Like, their run game is good enough. Their defense is good enough. There hasn't been, not that I could think of, and honestly, I look for it every Sunday. There hasn't been too many times where you've seen Aaron Rodgers get the shit knocked out of him. You don't, and he's out of the pocket a lot.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, it's like saying David Ruffin and the Temptations, but like Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, like, I trust them. Like, I don't Super Bowl trust them, but I NFC Championship trust them.
So basically what you're saying is temptations about David Ruffin. The temptations about David Ruffin is some fake-ass tents.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
You knew I was going to have to get that line in, man.
And then I guess the obvious one, I trust Kansas City. Like, I feel like Kansas City gets bored, which when it comes to winning teams, that happens. Like, when you go into a game and you just know, like, all right, we got an 89% chance of winning this. Like, you get bored. Like, you create excitement. You don't play as hard because you want to see if you can come back. Like, I get it, but I can't go against – I believe it's the great Ric Flair that said, hey, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And, yes, they've lost. Woo! They've lost, but at the same time, even at the end of that game, you were still, like, kind of, all right, Kansas City's still going to come back. They're still going to come back. They're still going to come back. So Kansas City's my other team. Outside of those two, I don't know if I really trust anybody else.
I like it. And I'm just going to go ahead and piggyback into that because I've obviously been singing the nobody can beat them phrases. And basically what I saw in Pittsburgh this week just shut that down for me. Because Garrett Gilbert and that defense shut them down, Chris. Like,
yeah.
Garrett Gilbert off the street almost beat you on a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, let's let it be known. Patrick Mahomes has lost one playoff game in the last 2 years. And the one playoff game he lost was to Tom Brady in overtime.
Tommy Terrific.
Let's not forget that. And if I'm correct, I think the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
So Patrick Mahomes has lost one playoff game to the eventual Super Bowl winning champion. Outside of that, he has beaten everybody else. He's beaten the comeback player of the year. He beat the MVP. And a bunch of other jabronis in between there. So that's what I have to say about that. And he proved it last week. I think it's great that Derek Carr and them, put up points. And, I think Sammy Watkins getting hurt in that game threw off their game plan. I think it made Andy Reid have to recalibrate, and he forgot that I do have, the best player on the planet, arguably, which I would like to come on record and it's somebody that drafted him and apologize. Patrick, it's James Madison Walton III. In some circles, they call me Wames J. Other circles, they call me Big Game James. Some circles, they call me Mr. Saturday Night.
I don't know where this is going.
My Montana circle, they call me Walt. I have had you on my roster now for 9 weeks. And basically, you have done, in football terms, ridiculous things. You have thrown one interception and 28 touchdowns. I think that's your stat. It might be 27. It might be 30. Somewhere.
Oh, God.
Your interception to touchdown ratio is above 25-1 in 9 games. And nobody on this show, including the guy that drafted you, has said Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the league. And I want to apologize to you. You have now become my Michael Jordan of this era.
Dude, he set the standard so high.
Because you're that damn good. And I saw it happen to Jordan. And I want to let you know, as one half of what's good of America, the fact that we have not said Patrick Mahomes is the MVP until he chooses not to be. And let it be known for the record, as much as Lamar Jackson deserved the MVP last year, and I agreed with him winning, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't miss 4 games, is Lamar Jackson the MVP?
It's not even close.
Patrick Mahomes threw 40 touchdowns in 12 games. So I'm sorry, Patrick. I want to get that out the way. Now, other teams that I do believe in and I trust. The Arizona Cardinals, I believe in. Without Chandler Jones, which I was nervous about. But this kid, I get like Miami got him, but the way that they're losing, and his interview where he was like, not good enough, got to do better. I think, Chris, he's got it. The things that me and Coach Joe disagreed on, I think Kyler has it here.
Yeah.
I think here he has it. And I think the fact that he's also looking at that, my best player had 3 catches for 30 yards and we lost. I need to reevaluate that. I think it's a good thing for him. So I trust in them. This is going to be random. It's not a team. You know who I do trust in now? Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I agree.
I was already starting to believe it. This kid.
That kid can play. He can play.
Dude, we're going to get him and Joe Burrow for 10 years. And the things they're doing with what they're working with is so impressive that they're in these games. Good for him. Good for him staying a year when he would have been the number 1 pick if he would have came out the year early. He stayed and got his education, and it's put him in a good situation. Like he's playing in a I think that's dude, to be able to not have to worry about weather for the next 10, 12 years of your life. Look how long Rivers has been able to play. Look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees has played for 20 years because he's never had to worry about weather. He's been in San Diego or in a dome.
Like it speaks for itself. It is amazing.
A couple others, and then I just want to toss it to honestly talk about Trevor Lawrence now that we've talked about these young guys and why I think he should purposely manipulate himself out because I just brought that point up.
Yeah.
Couple teams that I also do believe in. This one's going to crack you up. The New York Giants, I believe.
Why?
I think because I believe they're going to win the East. I do. I don't trust Philly. I don't care who they get back. I have no problem, Chris. I have no problems apologizing for this. I think the Giants are the best team in the NFC East. I think they're going to win the division. I didn't say that they were going to, win 10 in a row. I said they're going to win the East.
That's not saying much.
Exactly. See? Low bar. But, I'm going to hang my hat on old Danny Dimes because I think he's got enough continuity. And I think Joe Judge, with being around the Patriots for as long as he has, I think their defense is okay enough they can win the East. So I believe in the Giants. The Giants are my pick. Because we know the Cowboys, come on, have you seen the meme of Jerry Jones playing quarterback?
Yes, it is classic.
It's almost getting to that point. Garrett Gilbert, who I hadn't even heard that name for for years.
Not at all.
I remember he was a stud too. And he played well. But how much more interest do you think Amari, CD, and Gallup? A couple of these guys are looking for contracts. And CD's I'm wearing 88, bruh. I
need the ball.
So, and then I would say, I'd say probably my last one. I think I'm kind of just throwing this out there, but I just want to remind the fans, even if they go on a losing streak and then he can be mad at me, that I've been the one. The Miami Dolphins are going to make the playoffs. I'm going to restamp on that. They're going to find a way. And it's going to be a glorious time to shoot a podcast because I can't wait for Chris Turner to chug an entire bar of Screwball and then do an episode on the Dolphins.
Listen, so, I hope against hope that you are right. God, I do.
Dude,
that's all I can say. I hope you're right.
Do you know why it is? Dude, it's their defense.
True.
And Devontae Parker, can you hear that?
I hear it.
Dude, him being healthy has made
Does
such
something.
a difference. It's just allowing guys like Preston Williams to get off. They were able to win the game without their best running back. They made it. They're doing it with makeshift guys. And they're protecting Tua looked really good. Like he did. He played really well.
Yeah.
He looked Tua-esque. And you just got to look at it, man. New England is just now, it's funny that New England is like we can get them and the Jets. It's just, can we get Buffalo? It's so weird to say that, isn't it? It's like, we can get them and the Jets. Can we get Buffalo? That's
Exactly.
all they can do. If they can get them and win the rest of their non-conference or play well enough, and I just look at the teams they've beaten. Like, they beat two really good teams. Like, those are two teams in the playoff hunt. Those are not garbage victories. And they beat them with a kid that hadn't played but one series. You got to give the defense credit. So
I agree with you 1,000%. Like, it's just me being the forever Dolphins fan. It's just I don't want to say anything. I'll just leave it alone. Like, I don't.
Let me do it so then you can curse me out later. It makes for great TV anyway. Now, here's the reason I wanted to bring up Trevor Lawrence real quick in this segment before we go to our final one.
Yeah.
This is why I'm talking about being able to dictate where you play. If you look at the history of like our great quarterbacks, look at the cities they've played in outside of Tom Brady. Like, think just in our heritage. Like, what are the names that first come up? There's two guys you can cancel out that I can think of. I'd take Brady and take Rodgers out. But think of some of the other great quarterbacks in our 37 years of being alive. They come to your head. All eras.
You got Dan the Man Marino, Daniel Constantine Marino himself.
Hold on. So every time you name one, where did he play his entire career?
Miami.
Okay. Do another one.
All right. How far you want me to go back with this? Because I can kind of bounce around a little bit.
I would say basically let's basically do like we're 80s babies. So like I'd say cap it at 1980. And then come on down to 2020. Last 40.
You can go Troy Aikman because I like him.
Where did Troy Aikman play?
Dallas. And
what type of stadium does Dallas have?
It is indoor.
Keep going.
That's a damn good point.
I think you're starting to see my trend here. Name another one.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, then.
He's the exception to the rule. But I will say this. Kansas City does not get cold until December because I lived in Missouri for 5 years.
True. Very true.
They have a different climate. St. Louis can get ice cold. I've been there in winters when it'd be like 50 degrees, and I was like coming from Chicago to see my boy. Shout out Jason Douglas, aka Chingy. I would be taking the train to go see him. It was like 10 in Chicago, but it was 55 in Kansas City, like before New Year's. I'm like, dude, you 7 hours away. But Patrick Mahomes, good. We'll throw him into the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady part. That's a good one. Okay.
All right. So Drew Brees.
Where has Drew Brees played his entire career?
Dome in New Orleans.
And where else did he play his career to start?
Wasn't he in San Diego?
There you go. Keep going. Do another one.
All right. You got Joe Montana, Steve Young in San Francisco.
There you go. I'm out here.
That makes sense. I get where you're going with it. I get where you're going.
Okay, these are like he's naming the ones that have won Super Bowls, have been MVP first ballots. But I would even take it to this, America. Phillip Rivers' ability to play for as long as he played. He played in San Diego his entire career.
Yep.
Okay, there's the thing. Carson Palmer was able to play 5 more years because he played in Arizona.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence, if I'm you, I agree. I don't go to the Jets, period, because they're a bad organization right now. And they don't have the Eli thing going on where it's the Giants, where it's like, Eli, we traded for you. We're going to find a way. You go to a place where you can either play in a dome or you can play in warm weather for the majority of your career. That's where I go if I'm a quarterback. Because
well, let me ask you this.
I don't have to worry about the ball, and then cut me off. I don't have to worry about the ball. I don't have to worry about, traction of my receivers, my players. There's a better chance they're going to stay healthier because they're going to be in warm climates half the season. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. So Trevor comes out this year and come out and just wholeheartedly says, I'm not playing in Jacksonville. I mean, I'm not playing in New York. Well, Jacksonville has the number 2 pick. Miami has like the number 6 pick from the Texans. And then there's like so on and so forth in there.
Well, he's not going to Miami, so.
Well, yeah, he's not going to – but Jacksonville is number 2.
I'd play in Jacksonville.
So who's to say that he decides to comes out and he pulls a John Elway like, listen,
yeah,
I'll sit out a year, but I'm not playing for the fucking Jets.
Yeah.
And he ends up in Jacksonville where they've already benched Minshew, and they got some bum off the street playing quarterback now.
They didn't bench Minshew. Minshew's hurt.
He ain't that goddamn hurt.
Throwing thumb, football.
No, it's not sprained. It's not torn. Like his stuff it's soreness in the throwing thumb, which I get, but at the same time, you're a football player.
I think you're classifying it as soreness.
It's a sore thumb.
It'd be different if it was not his throwing hand, Chris. That's like somebody telling you, hey, your ankle's not as bad. You don't need those ligaments.
I guess.
But anyway, I know. I'm sorry to shit on your Jacksonville shit on parade. Shit on your home. But I honestly would go to Jacksonville. You know why? Because I like Tony Khan.
AEW, him and the son.
Well, yeah. Tony Khan is the son. It's his daddy owns.
Shad, yeah, Shad is the dad. Shad is the dad.
I like Shad. I'd go there. DJ Chark, hey, credit where credit's due. DJ Chark is the real deal when he can stay on the field. That dude is legit.
They have an okay foundation.
But
it needs more, but it's an okay foundation.
Oh yeah, his whole line is atrocious. Like they got work to do. I mean, anybody that's going to Jacksonville missed the window. I mean, the David Garrard years, the Fred Taylor years, like that team used to compete, man. That was a good football.
Every year. Tony Boselli,
Paul Posluszny, one of the great inside linebackers. There's a guy that'll never get Hall of Fame consideration and was solid year in, year out. He was like Zach Taylor, but not playing in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that's me. I would say my advice to any quarterback is, bro, unless you grew up in that shit,
don't
go play in your climate. Like Deshaun Watson's from Georgia. He's playing in Houston. He ought to be grateful Chicago didn't take him. The only guy that would have been able to play in that shit is Mahomes.
Yep.
Because he's shown it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody else has shown that it doesn't fucking matter. His arm talent is it's so weird, but I mean that's where I'm at with that, America. Man, this segment ran a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna run.
We got the rambling, got to talk about other shit, and the screwball is starting to kick in. But it is what it is, America. We got one more segment coming up next. It'll be a little bit shorter, but all we want to know is what's good, America.
What's good, America?